As I'm looking at the display right now, I decided to upgrade another shelf. So we'll be making a diorama, and I'll take you with me because some of you are asking how or what's the process in making a diorama. So I'll try to explain everything, and I hope we can do it in a day. So the very first thing I do when upgrading a shelf is look at the shelves that needs upgrading or shelves that I want to upgrade. So yeah, I want to do a Savage Land inspired diorama for my Savage Land Avengers there, but I don't know. I don't want to do Thor symbiote. I want a throne for Null, but there's too much figures on that space. I don't think that will fit. So that is a no. I love to do X4s, probably Urban Ruins or Urban Ruins as well for this X4s team and kind of X4s. Let me see what else needs to be upgrading here. The Dark Avengers, I'm planning to do a stage inspired diorama, just like in the cover. Let's see. Ooh. Hmm. Legion of Monsters, I can do a castle inspired diorama. If you've seen the Frankenstein movie at Netflix, like Laboratory, I can do that with books. But that shelf is too small. I, yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move that display to this display here to my Guardians of the Galaxy. This will be perfect for bookshelves right here on the side. We have railings, a castle wall with window. Then at the right here would be the table with all the flask, Bunsen burners, laboratory stuff, and castle floors. I think that will work. Yeah, I'll go with that. Let's get to work. Already moved the figures. That's the Guardians of the Galaxy figures new home as of the moment, and we have this empty shelf that we can work on right now. So it's time to bring out the table and set up the rest of the materials. That was fast. So here are the tools and materials that I'll be using when usually doing my projects. Now, this is my hobby mat. This hobby mat has been through a lot. I've been using this mat for over 10 years already, as you can see. And this one is very important if you're into this kind of projects. This is a hot wire foam cutter to ensure that your foam or the cuts on the foam it's straight, it is close to perfect as much as possible. So I'm using hot wire foam cutter. And if we're using the hot wire foam cutter, of course, we need to protect ourselves. We need to use mask because we don't want to inhale any toxic materials that you know being excreted by this foam board when we're cutting it. Of course, our main material will be always foam board. This one is a foam board I got from Lowe's, or insulation foam board. There is a pink one at a Home Depot. You can use that as well. Doesn't matter. Now we have a couple of measuring tools here. We have tape measure, and the most important of all is T-square. T-square, not I will recommend T-square, not only a ruler, because this T-square will guarantee you a straight line every time when you drew a line on the foam board itself, like uh, bricks, for example. This will guarantee a straight line all the time. Now, we also have a few cutting materials here. We have our knives, our cutters. We have, of course, we need to use fresh knives. Exacto knife here as well. This is what I use for bricks as well. Of course, glue, tacky glue. I always use tacky glue for foam board, for balsa wood, for cardboard and stuff like that. And of course, hot glue. We're not going to use magnets because we're gonna put the diorama here. So magnets will only take so much space when we do floor or background. So we're not gonna use magnets, but we can use magnets as well to join the two parts of the diorama. And of course, foam board. We're not gonna use uh, foam board for as a base, because foam boards are really thick. It's an inch thick. So we're gonna use cardboard instead, not foam board. It's cardboard. We're gonna use cardboard because it's thin. If we're going to use cardboard just like this, it will not take so much space if we're going to do a base compared to a very thick, or an inch thick of foam board. So yeah, that is, or those are the only tools and materials that we'll be using as of the moment. We'll have more later, like paints, brushes, and stuff like that. What I will be doing next is I will be measuring the dimension of the shelf that we will be working on. So as you can see, this is an irregular shelf. I have it on a piece of paper. We're gonna get the dimension, and we're gonna start with the backdrop of the diorama. Now that we have the measurement, it is time for us to cut a backdrop for our diorama using a foam board and a Proxon hot wire foam cutter. We're about to cut a foam board. Wear a mask. Protect yourself. And we have the backdrop already. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a wall with a window. So I created or I printed a template off the internet. We're gonna use this template here. There's so many things you can do for a window. You can do balsa wood, you can do pla plates, but what I'm going to teach you is the easiest one. So let's go. All right, so we have the template. We're gonna use my kid's scissors. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this and make this as the backdrop and the template at the same time. I don't know if you can see this, but we have our template now. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut this and work around the window later. Now we're going to do a brick wall, and since this is a castle wall, we're going to do a bigger brick. So the dimension that we'll be using is an inch. The height will be an inch, and the width would be 2 inches. So we're going to follow that pattern, and we're gonna make a brick wall now. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut through the line here using a knife. A blunt pencil like this. And we're going to make an indentation by tracing the line again using this blunt pencil here. And we have the wall now. Don't worry about those breaks. That's fine. That's an additional detail. It's a castle, so there might be along the years there will be chips on the bricks, stuff like that. What we're going to do next is I'm going to detail the windows and texture the whole back wall itself. Now that we have our wall and window there, what we're going to do next is we're going to detail the wall itself. So grab a rock um, on your backyard. You can use foil, but I recommend rock because this has like natural texture in it. So we're going to texture the bricks. What all you have to do is just press any side of the rock here to the brick or to the wall, and as you can see, it has will give us different texture just like that. So do that to the whole surface until you got this result here. And we have textured the wall there. As you can see, there are details already. So it's up there. It's not yet finished. We still need to put a glass on that, but of course we need to paint it first. As of the moment though, we're going to step back and we're going to concentrate on the flooring now. So we're going to do the floor, this side of the wall here, and this floor. So let's start. And we have the base. So we used again cardboard because we're not going to use foam board as a base because it will take so much space. But we're going to use steel foam board for the floor here. So we're going to cut small pieces. We're going to tile the cuttings here. We're going to make wall here as well. Then I think I'm going to do a for this floor here, we're going to do like a plank of wood. So stone, stone, plank of wood, and I decided to use magnets here because it's loose. So I want it to be secured when we install it later. So I'm gonna put magnets there later, and that's what we're going to do right now. What we need is, of course, magnets. We need to have knives, and most importantly, hot glue. So we're going to put the magnets here. We're gonna use 4 magnets. What I always do is just make an indentation of where will I put the magnets. Just press it like that, right there, and this side right there. So if you can see, you have the indentation already. We're gonna make some hole there that would fit the magnet. Okay, so we have installed the magnets now. As you can see, all the magnets are there and they hold perfectly. So the advantage of using a magnet in a diorama is it makes your diorama modular. And if, of course, if you're into toy photography and you have like all the dioramas you need for your toy photography, you need to make sure that when you store them, you can store them in one place without taking so much space. So you can, since dynamic diorama, uh, toy photographer loves this because they can just put it away and store it just like that. But today we use these magnets because in the display we need to make sure that it is secure when we install it on the shelves. So we use magnet for that as well. So there you go. That's the purpose of a magnet in a diorama. We have the sidewall finished. So we're just going to texture this like this here. And we're going to do the same thing with the walls or with the floors. And right after that, we're going to handle the bookshelves and the books next. So change of plans. I know I want to finish this diorama for a day, but the kids asked me if they can go sledding today. So I will humor them for a minute. Just give me a minute, then I'll get back to work. And here we are, guys. I promise you only 1 minute.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling a ring a ting a ting a ling a too. Ring a ling a ling a ding dong. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with a Jew. Ring a ling a ding a ding dong. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you home. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with a Jew.
That was really fast. So I went ahead and detailed the floors, the walls there, they are detailed. I did the bookshelves already. Same thing, foam board. I just cut some books there. It's already detailed as well. So next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to paint this. We're going to do the base coat first, then move on from that. So stay tuned.